So I've had my AtGames Legends Ultimate Arcade for a little over a year now. So I bought this in December of 2022, and at the time of this video, it is in January of 2024. And so I've definitely had time to kind of get a feel for what I like about this system and also the things that I don't like. And so today I'm going to be giving you my 1 year plus review with some pros and cons, just in case you were thinking of getting this unit. And the thing is, at the time of this video, the Legends Ultimate 4K version is coming out, and so this older version might be hard to get or it might be more expensive. So I just want to put that out there. And so the first and most obvious thing that I really love about this system is the simple fact that this feels like an arcade machine. And we have many other vendors who provide this stuff, but the biggest competitor is Arcade 1Up. And initially, I thought about getting an Arcade 1Up, but whenever I went to go see it at the store at Best Buy, I just did not like the mini size, and it didn't feel right to me. And so whenever I saw the Legends Ultimate Arcade, I actually picked this one up at Sam's Club, and they had a unit out there. I felt like, wow, this is the closest that I'm going to be able to get to an actual arcade machine without actually having to get an original arcade machine or build it myself. So that is the first thing. I do like the size and also the build quality. You get a very nice screen on here. I think this is a big screen for most people. The controls and everything, I think it's solid. The buttons work great. And once again, I mean, for what you are getting for this, I think you're getting a lot in terms of it. The sound is great. And so all of those things, I think, make it a wonderful arcade unit for people who don't have a real arcade machine. And then the next thing, when it comes to the actual controls itself, I really like this layout because not only does it give you a 6-button control scheme, which I think a lot of people will enjoy, especially for fighting games, but it also comes with a trackball and spinners. And since I bought the Sam's Club version, I also get some pinball buttons on the side as well. And so it has a lot of additional features that you don't normally get for a unit in this price range, which leads me to the other thing. And for a lot of people, this might be the most important thing. And I would say it was initially the most important thing when I was looking at it was the price, okay? The price of this at the time that I got it, the Sam's Club version was $500 with tax and everything. It was near the $600 range. And then when I think about that versus an Arcade 1Up, there's absolutely no comparison. You're getting so much more from this machine for basically the same price or even cheaper, depending upon which Arcade 1Up units you are comparing against. So still to this day, I kind of feel that this is still the best value for your money of any arcade unit that's already built. And now let's get to the most important part of the machine, and that's what's offered with it, and that's the whole software package and games. So whenever you buy this, you get 300 games out of the box. This is a lot of games, especially when you compare this once again to Arcade 1Up, which typically has 1 or a dozen games out of the box. And I think the games on here are really, really awesome overall. And once again, you have to consider how many games you're getting for the price that you're paying. And then they also have other features on here. They have their Arcade Net, where you could actually play through their system. Arcade Net, you could compete against each other and so forth. There's BYOG. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, including the App Store X. And on here, if you connect online and log in, you could get access to more features that AtGames provides. And then when it comes to the settings, there are a lot of different options for this. And so that leads to the really other big advantage of this system, and that is all the expandable features that this has. Okay, so you have things such as like wireless control deck, OTG mode. You have a quad play controller you could get. There's gamepad updates. There is so much stuff on here that I think that people will really enjoy. And there's even data managers. There is quite a bit of stuff. There's even light gun calibration as well. And there's features here that I've never used before. Okay, I don't have a light gun. There's control mirroring. I don't even know what that is. And so there's a lot of stuff here that you could use this system for beyond just what they have available, which leads me to what I feel is the absolute best thing about this system. And it was the reason why I bought it. Initially, I kind of bought it because, well, the price was really good. But then when I saw all the features that it had, and the one most important feature, then I knew I had to get this. And that is the ability to add your own games. So the first one is Apex Store. We have CoinOpsX, or we had CoinOpsX, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. And CoinOpsX was the main reason why I really wanted to get it, because I do have CoinOpsX on my desktop, and I still feel that the CoinOpsX is the best for desktop in my opinion. And here we have a CoinOpsX, and I really love CoinOpsX. And you know, I have CoinOpsX on my computer, multiple versions of it, and whenever I got this set up on my machine, I was just blown away by not only the interface, you know, but most importantly, all the games that it comes with. And this is the true power of the Legends Ultimate Arcade. It's just the sheer amount of games that you get. There's like thousands of games on here. I had like 1,905 games. And so that's absolutely mind-blowing to me. And then later, I discovered something I would say even better than CoinOpsX, and that was under BYOG, and that system is the Awesome Sauce, or One Sauce. And wow, this one to me is even better because it is faster, and it provides way more games and also more features. Like, for example, it's not just arcade games that I could play on this, okay? There's also console games that I could play as well. It organizes things into systems. So there is a lot here that this offers, One Sauce offers. And I really can't say enough about this. This is basically giving me practically everything that I wanted in terms of somebody who loves retro gaming, you know, who grew up with all these games. It's really awesome. And now that I've talked about all the main positives, you know, the price, the build quality, the absolutely amazing features, the ability to do CoinOpsX and One Sauce, wow, I can't say enough about those things. And I think for a lot of people, that's the main reason why they probably got this as well. So let's go ahead and get to the negatives of this system. Starting off with the performance, okay? So when it comes to like playing the games that came with it, or even CoinOpsX, you really have no problems. You know, the machine is powerful enough. But whenever you get One Sauce on here, and then you're trying to play some systems, you know, like from a Dreamcast, you know, or Naomi board on here, or some more quote-unquote modern games like in the 90s or something, it doesn't do a great job, okay? The hardware itself, it just can't handle it. And so in those cases, if you're looking to play, you know, like Naomi games or quote-unquote Dreamcast games on here, playing something like Marvel vs. Capcom, House of the Dead 2, stuff like that, it just doesn't do as well. That's something that you have to consider. But because of all the functionality of this, as you can see here, I actually have two USB here that I am using for the One Sauce and also CoinOpsX. So there's that whole extensible feature. And you could plug other things in here, you know, whether you want to plug in a computer or another emulation box. That's why this thing is so powerful. And there's an HDMI right here. So I've used it before to plug in my NVIDIA Shield. And so things like that, you know, they can have a workaround, but you won't necessarily be using the Legends Ultimate hardware in terms of the, you know, the CPU and stuff, but you'll still be able to use the display and the control unit there. So yeah, those things are negatives with this system. It's like just the overall power level, it's not quite there. And then I want to talk about I would say the biggest problem with this, at least at the time of this video. And there was an update that came last year, and it was actually update 5.70 and 5.71. Now, I upgraded my system to 5.68.0, okay? So that really gave me the ability to use the system without having to log in periodically. But ever since 5.70 and 5.71 came out, it broke things on this system. Specifically, One Sauce and also some things with CoinOpsX. And people have had varying results, but for a lot of people out there who own this machine, whenever they said they updated, they had problems. And that for me is a huge problem, because if you're buying new units and expecting you to, you know, work like what I have on my system, being able to use CoinOpsX and One Sauce 100%, then I don't think that's the case anymore, and I've checked the support logs and recent firmware updates, and I haven't seen anything new, and I don't think they're ever going to fix that. I don't actually know the reasons why they did this, but my guess is it's probably due to legal reasons, that they've done that. And because of that, well, it doesn't make the Legends Ultimate Arcade, at least with this firmware, as awesome as it used to be. So for me, thankfully, I don't have it connected to the internet. I have not updated my firmware, and I don't plan to update it because it works exactly the way I want it. I love having One Sauce. I love having CoinOpsX. That's the reason I got this machine. So that is my overall review of the AtGames Legends Ultimate Arcade. 1 year plus later, I still feel for the price, it is the best value out there. The quality is really great, has lots of expandable features, and the software and games that it comes with is still unbeatable at this price. However, that firmware of breaking things like CoinOpsX and One Sauce is a pretty big deal, especially for people like myself who primarily bought this machine because of that. And I think for a lot of people bought it, that's why they purchased it at the beginning. And so if you are okay with that potentially not working at all, then this is still a great buy. However, if you were thinking of buying the system because you wanted CoinOpsX or One Sauce, then I think you either want to wait later to see if they ever fix this, or to see if there are other options out there, especially with the 4K version coming out. So if you actually had any thoughts on this, be sure to leave in the comments there below. And if you did want to see my original review of the Legends Ultimate Arcade, I'll leave that in the description area as well. Hey geeks, if you are a brand new creator and you simply want something easy to get you started, well, I got something for you with my Creator Starter Kit. This is a super simple step-by-step guide that's going to take you from having no channel to developing your very first YouTube channel, along with ideas, thumbnail designs, and other creator tips, including marketing. And the best part is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and get started creating.